Hey guys, in this video I'm going to tackle replacing the window motor on my Mustang here. Just the motor, no regulator. Here's the part, Ford original part, FR3Z. That number is your part number. This is a 2016 Mustang EcoBoost convertible, and the issue I'm having is the window won't roll down. If you're having the issue where the window just randomly goes up and down that little 1/4 inch or whatever to clear the weather stripping, that's probably you don't need a window motor. What I did on the passenger side a couple years ago when I had that issue is I just took the door panel off, unplugged all the plugs in the door one at a time, and just blew them out with some electric safe cleaner, whatever that stuff's called. CRC makes it. Kind of cleaned it up. Then I put dielectric tune-up grease in the connections, and then not a ton of it, but a little bit. Snapped it back together, and the thing's been flawless ever since. So I think those things get a little bit of corrosion in the connections. They are exposed to water. Any water that gets between this felt and the window can get to those connections, and if they're not 100% water sealed, then they could get corrosion. I think that's what's going on with these things. Seems to be a pretty common issue, that window motor deal. And it's really annoying on the Mustangs when the window won't roll down at all like mine is. It's just stuck like in this position, is that it hits the weather strip and it makes me nervous. So anyway, I'm gonna get that fixed hopefully. Time to take the door panel off. And by the way, the reason I suspect that it's not the switch and it's actually the motor is since this is a convertible, I can attempt to put the top back, and there's a little button up there, and I click that, and normally all the windows come down at the same time. Well, all of them do except for this one. So it really seems to me to be a motor issue. First step is to take 2 screws out at the bottom of the door. Not sure if you guys can see that. 2 bolts down there. Looks like this fastener is a 7mm. All right, so these just pop out. It kind of looks like maybe somebody else has already been in this door. It looks like we're missing some of these little blue fasteners. But I guess if you were trying to be professional about it, you could buy a kit of those, but I got 2. That's enough to hold her down. I got to unconnect this right here. Probably need 2 hands for that. And then looks like there's another fastener in here, and this one's a 10mm. Next, I need to pop this little plate off of the it's hiding a screw behind this thing, and then should be able to lift the door panel off. Looks like this one's a 10mm too. All right, I had to kind of fish around with this a little bit for the door latch. Got that unplugged. Got the I already unplugged that, didn't I? I had to unplug this right here. Wait, no, this is the window one. This was the lock, or this was the lock. I don't know, I'm all confused. Anyway, had to unplug those things. Now I'm gonna start taking some of this plastic off of here, carefully, so I can put it back when I'm done. All right, I just took the window out. The way you do that is there's a screw in here that you have to take completely out, and then there's a screw over here you just need to loosen, and then the thing will just lift right on out. Be careful with it, all that kind of stuff. Next, it looks like, from what I can tell, the screws that hold the regulator in, it's like one right here, one down here, one right here, and one right there, and maybe that one. We'll just see that one. I don't know if I pointed that one already. So I'm gonna start taking screws out. All right, y'all, I took all those screws out that I was telling y'all about, and I've kind of fished the motor out of here. I unplugged the wiring harness from it, everything loose, and fished the motor out of here. So since I'm not replacing the regulator, I'm not gonna try to fish the rest of the regulator out. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the motor and then put it back together. I've got a T27 Torx bit. Seems to fit these 3 screws pretty decent. While I had everything apart, I went ahead and wiped just a little bit of dielectric grease into these connections, just because I don't want that common issue of the thing ka-chunking up and down as I'm going down the road. Shouldn't have that issue. We got, you know, new motor and what all, but if we can prevent corrosion, that's better. So I got the new motor in, and I got these 3 screws that hold it in started, not snugged up just yet. And then I got to get my regulator kind of situated and get those screws started, make sure I've got everything kind of looking right. One thing that's annoying is I dropped the screw that unthreaded here, and there's a little pocket here. It doesn't just fall into the bottom where you can grab it easy. There's a little spot where it catches, so hoping I can root around with a magnet and grab it. So if you're getting this one out, it's a little tricky. I would recommend just put a tiny piece of paper or paper towel in your socket so it gets snug on there, and that way it won't try to fall out. You can just pull it straight out when you get it loose. So I'm gonna work on that. All right, y'all, I slid the glass in. You got to kind of line up the hole in the glass with the hole for the screw over here, and make sure that little plastic collar on that screw is in good shape. I didn't really crank down on the screws. I was nervous about glass, you know what I'm saying? So just got them snug, and then, you know, put the screw in over here, and let's see what we got. I mean, I tightened everything up. It should work now. So let's see. Turn the battery on. Got to plug in this connector. Sorry. All right, got the connector plugged in. And let's see, look at that. It's pulling up that weather stripping, but we get that door panel on, it won't do that. All right, it's working, guys. I'm gonna finish putting the door panel back on. So I got kind of lucky. I found these 2 missing clips in the door, so I just popped them back on there and we're good to go. All right, y'all, got the door back together. Everything's working. Let's make sure. All right. Not sure why it's not closing. Oh, it wasn't rolled all the way up, that's why. Why is it not doing that automatically? Okay, last thing you have to do to reset the memory of the window motor, I guess, is you have to roll the window all the way down from the top. So just hold the button all the way down, and you'll hear a little click. I'm still holding the button. All right, now I'm letting go of the button, and now I'm rolling it all the way up and continuing to hold the button until I hear another click. And it's a very faint click, and it's already clicked, but I'm still holding the button just to be safe. Do that, and look, it goes down a little bit. Now it goes back up. Everything's working properly. Okay, just kidding, we're not done. I can almost stick my finger in this gap up here. So I have to adjust this window, or it will not seal. So got to take door panel back off. All right, so to adjust the window, you have to loosen up those 2 screws you took out earlier, and just manipulate the window up and down, front and back, whichever side needs to be up. Tug on it, tighten it back up, and then I'm thinking it's just going to be a process of trial and error. Snap the door panel back on barely enough and just test it. So that's what I'm going to do anyway. If y'all got a better method, put it in the comments. All right, after a couple of trial and errors, I think I like that. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but it really kind of tucks up under there, and that's what I wanted. It seems consistent front to back. It's tied up against the weather stripping all the way, and it's not really hanging on to anything when I'm opening the door. So I'm gonna call that good. I'm gonna finalize it. All right, so there's a little added bonus. I got the part off of Rock Auto. I just bought the part number they recommended after I put my vehicle's information in there. And on these convertibles, if you got one, you know, the switch for the window feels like it's got a little extra click for up, and that would normally mean auto up, right? But you can't do that on convertibles. I'll show you on the passenger side. It does auto down, but doesn't want to do auto up. So apparently that's a window motor thing, because I just replaced the motor in this thing and now it does auto up and down on the driver's side. So the switches are the same either way. Honestly, I like that feature. I kind of felt kind of silly having the switch that would do it, but the window wouldn't do it. And now it does. I guess maybe you got to be careful with a convertible top. I don't know why they did that, but anyway, my window works now. I'm very happy. I'm going to the beach in a few days, so now I can use my convertible top without having one window sticking up like a dork. So I am happy. Y'all have a blessed day.